friends. Welcome to another episode of your motivational Gen Z and Millennial Expert podcast. I am your host. My name is Dr. Jason Wiggins, and it is fantastic to be here. Welcome, everyone. I hope everybody's having a great day. This podcast is for millennials, Gen Zs, and those who want to be motivated to strive for more, to know their worth, to be able to move forward in a way that is continual to be progressing in life. And when you're stagnant in life, then that is when you have to find a way to get back in the groove. And that is what we're here to do. We're here to get you back in the groove. Now, of course, metaphorically, that sounds great, but if it happens to be you need motivation for some business ideas, to get your homework done in school, to go cook dinner, to go do errands, to get that extra training, to go to work, whatever it may be, we are here with your motivational Gen Z and Millennial Expert podcast to help you get where you want to go. Talking about today's episode. The episode is about helping you grow. So if you're an organization or you're in a place where you want to feel like you are a big part of the puzzle, then it's about help me grow. So what motivates Gen Zs, Millennials, Generation X, Alphas, Baby Boomers? Well, there's a lot of different areas depending on the demographics, depending on where you reside within your life. But I can tell you that within the workforce, and I am a Gen X, but I can tell you the most part for Gen Zs and Millennials, it's about being appreciated. It's about recognized. It's about developing relationships, partnerships, having a mentor. So how do you help me grow? Well, there is no one definite answer. But what we can say is, for example, Generation Z is considered by many to be a generation of digital natives that value purpose and diversity more than maybe baby boomers and Gen X. However, as we continue to grow and phase out in the workforce, that's Generation X and baby boomers, we are going to start having a labor shortage. So we do have to understand, what does a younger workforce want? And when I refer to younger workforce, I'm referring to younger than me. That's millennials, Gen Zs, alphas. Those are the ones that we really do need to understand the labor pool and the market that we are into. So, potential motivators, engaging work. Think about that, engaging work. Well, if you're a boss, you go, isn't all work engaging? It's important, or we wouldn't have to do it, right? Well, the answer is probably not right. It's probably wrong. And why is that? Because it has to have a meaning. And that is what the demand within our younger generation asking for. Generation Z, Generation Y. Those are the generations that are asking. We want to know what we're doing is important. And so if you're a boss or an employer or an owner of a business, then you have to reflect on that statement. So when you look at that, you go, okay, what can I do? Well, it's called connecting the dots. And if I'm an owner, an employer, a boss, I'm going to find opportunities for growth. I mean, that's not a surprise. That's what Gen Z wants. That's what millennials want. That's what Generation Alpha wants. They want to know that their work matters. And so when you have those type of opportunities to demonstrate the ability to make a difference, then we have to do that. Now, what does different type of work mean? Does it mean saving the environment? Does it mean being, globally aware of what's going on? Does it mean being impactful within everyday society? It can mean a lot of this, but it's about making sure that we're motivated by the relationships in the workforce that can also contribute to meaningful work. So guess what? Feelings matter. People are not robots. That's not the workforce. We have to realize that we have to engage, we have to challenge, we have to mentor, we have to develop the partnerships within the workforce. We're developing relationships. Yes, partnerships, relationships, they are synonymous with each other. But a partnership, imagine that. A partnership is different than a relationship. A partnership in the workforce is where a boss and employee, you have an employer-employee relationship that also builds on a partnership. That means you are all working towards a common goal. You are seen as an equal. You are not some lower level employee that needs to look up to their boss. A partnership is fully aware of the difference in, pay scale or the ability to oversee others. That's fine and great and all. But a partnership builds on the success of the organizations. Look at great sporting teams. Think of your favorite sporting team and think about what makes them great. What makes them not so great? Do they have a good camaraderie? Do they have a good team spirit? Do they have the ability to have a relationship where they can partner up to win games? Do they see the best in each other? Do they find ways to uplift the other? That goes back to what we started this episode on. What is in it for me? Help me. Help me be better. Help me strive for more excellence. Help me be able to reach the status, climb the mountain that I want to climb. Do whatever is the obstacle that you want to overachieve. Help me overachieve it. How do you do that? You provide the tools. You provide the training. Those are simple answers to a more complex problem, because helping me does not have an easy answer. But if you have the significant motivators within the workplace, like, incentives, how is the customer impact of what I do, recognition, advancement, making my work be meaningful, hitting targets, and the security of the selected individuals that make you great. What does that mean by making you great? It's about the security of people around you that have your best interests in mind. So as we segue into the particulars of how can you motivate, how can you help me if I am an employer, if I am an owner, if I am a mentor, how do I help you? It's very simple. It's about connecting the work to what's important. We are all different. We are all humans. We all have different motivators. We do not all fit in one side or inside a box. And that's where you can have life coaches, you can have motivators. They will all tell you, rise up to the challenge. You can do this if you try hard. You have the ability. Why don't you go ahead and buy my 10 seminars and I will make you great? Well, guess what? The only thing that can make us great is what are the obstacles that we want to overcome and how are we going to do it? There is no magic potion to get us to where we want to be. But to where we want to be, to where we want to go, it's really simple. Find mentors, people that you can connect with that have your best desire at heart. I've had great mentors in my life. I had some that weren't great mentors, but they helped me achieve by understanding the words that they stated. The words may have been hurtful. They were impactful. That is not what the message I would share to others. I would not say use words to be hurtful, to be impactful. But you can take those negative motivators and make them positive. And that's why I say, have a mentor that has your best progress at heart. At the end, we have to be in control of our own fate. And you can rely on help me, help you. We can have that type of attitude. But for us to really get where we want to be as a team, as individuals, as key contributors within our work, it's very, very simple. The simple is we need to get off and out of our shell, and we need to answer the call of life. The call of life is about the ability to understand, what do I want? What do I need to do to get what I want? How am I going to achieve it? How am I going to discard all the negative feedback that I receive and overcome? Because everybody at some point feels like they're knocked down, they're beaten up. When I was going through my dissertation process for my doctorate degree, I was beaten down. I was bruised. I was battered. I wanted to give up. It's like anything. If it's hard, and if it's really hard, you want to quit. And guess what? There was something inside of me that wouldn't let me quit. And that's where I would say, look inside yourself. Don't worry about who can help you. Worry about how you can help yourself and answer the call. Answer your abilities. We all have the ability to get things done. But what's key in the ability is the desire. Do we have that desire to get up, get out, and do the hard work? Nothing's easy. So when you say, help me, I get it. A good mentor, a good boss, a good owner, those are individuals that have the opportunity to help others, and they should. With that said, as individuals that are receiving that help or receiving that mentorship, then it's up to that individual to realize, I have the ability, I have the desire, I have access to the tools. If I don't have access to the tools, how am I going to get access? It's a step-by-step process. It's the same thing like getting out of debt. It's the same thing of finishing school. It's the same thing as trying to get a job promotion. It's the same thing of getting a new job. These are all important aspects of achievement. But nobody is going to give us anything without us earning it. Sometimes you'll luck into something, but it doesn't mean it's permanent. So when your luck runs out, that also means the opportunity might run out. Meaning you can't always rely on everybody else. They might open the door for you. They might stick their foot there and have just a little opening for you to come in. But it's up to us to take charge, to run through and say, I got this. I can do this. And you have to believe in yourself. For example, in sports, there's been position players within their sport that really had the talent. They really had the ability to be very successful. But there was one key that kept them from having the full success that they wanted. Not only besides imposter syndrome, It was more about the lack of belief in themselves. Yes, imposter syndrome is similar, but it's about thinking you don't belong. Not that you don't believe you can do it, but it's that you don't belong. But in this case that I'm sharing, in sports, it's about not believing in yourself. And that is why we have the opportunity to get something that we want, that's important, that's impactful, that's going to change our lives. Then we need to take that opportunity. So that goes back to a 4-step process that I want to talk about. Step 1 is first, realize, what do you want? What do you want? Break it down. Break it down to really what is important to you. For example, I always wanted to be a motivational speaker. I always wanted to help people. I used to want to travel. I used to want to do all these things to make an impact on people's lives. And then I realized after searching for clients and doing motivational speeches and having to travel a little bit, I realized I don't necessarily like traveling. Why? Because I'm away from my family too often. And I realized the dream of what I had really wasn't what I wanted. And then I had to decide, okay, I got to go in a different direction. So that's why step 1 is realize, what do you want? What do you want to accomplish? Step 2 is once you figured out what you want to accomplish, then break it down into the basic tools of the next steps that you want to do to get there. Decide, do you need more tools, resources? Do you need money? Do you need to do something to get out of debt? Do you need to take baby steps? Do you need to do a snowball effect? Do you need to get additional training? Decide what the course of action that you're going to need to take. So take those steps. And then number 3 is you realize what you want to accomplish. You realize the tools that you need. Now you realize, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. This is my strategic attack to get where I want to go. The additional training, the searching for these type of jobs, being able to collaborate with others, finding resources that are available to you. And the fourth step, you did all the hard work. Now it's progress. Take everything you learned, all the research, all the tools, and begin to apply them. And then there is a 5th step. Reap the rewards. Feel great about the successes that you will accomplish, that you have accomplished, and don't sell yourself short. So we talk about at the beginning, it's about help me. But you got to look in the mirror. Look in the mirror and say, help me. It's not a cry for help. It's a cry to yourself to realize, get off of your whatever you're laying on and get up and face the challenge. Face the opportunity. Take those 5 steps. That 5th step being celebrate. Do all of that. Look at the reflection and realize this is what I can achieve. Foresee it. Visualize it. Think about it. And then write the steps down. And then write what your life will be like once you accomplish those goals. I always say the only limitations are the one we put on each other. And that is why no matter what obstacle gets in our way, we need to move it over, knock it down, push it down. Whatever you got to do, get that obstacle out of your way. We can achieve. We can do it. I know you can. I continue to do it. And we cannot let anything stand in our way. This is a podcast for those that understand the importance of Gen Z, millennials, and all the other generations, but also understand the impact of motivation and what it has in our lives, how we motivate each other, and then we turn around and we motivate others as well. So I want to thank everybody. If you want to reach out, feel free to reach out and just say, hey, I appreciate what you're saying, or hey, I don't agree, or whatever it may be. But we appreciate your listenership. We have listeners all over the world, and I am extremely thankful for you. And you're my motivation to continue to do these podcasts. So thank you. And I look forward to seeing you on the next podcast. So take care. And I look forward to talking to you later. Again, this is Dr. Jason Wiggins. Bye-bye.